Danny, some news last night. The 2025 All-Star starters were named. Giannis was the leading vote getter. Congratulations to all 10 starters. We look forward to seeing you in San Francisco. As you can see here, Jason Tatum will be making his 6th All-Star game. Last night he was in action against LeBron James, who will be making his 21st All-Star appearance. It was the 101st career meeting between LeBron and the Boston Celtics. And Danny Green, he always gets up for this matchup.
Yeah, that's a lot of games, but a couple of business decisions made in this one. Right there, Al Horford getting out the way, making sure he's not a part of that poster.
Blew past multiple Celtics defenders, and then Austin Reeves, he did it again.
How is he so athletic at 40?
Yeah, another business decision. Kristaps Porzingis getting out the way. But yeah, 40 years old, him still doing that is amazing.
Flying down the lane on that one. And then here, LeBron misses the jumper, but Anthony Davis, watch him battling inside here.
Showing some hunger, some desire. We like it, man. That's what we want to see, the fight. We want to see the fight.
Playing the 5.
LeBron James, Anthony Davis combined for 26 points in the first half here. Going ahead to the third, here comes AD. He finished with 24 points on the night. And then a few possessions later, LeBron with the rebound. Long outlet here to Austin Reeves.
QB. AR with a nice
Austin
lay.
Reeves
I like
with
it.
the headband, I think, gives him a different type of swag.
I love the headband. It's a different look, but interesting.
And then going ahead to the fourth quarter here, LeBron hits a little mid-range jumper.
Anytime he gets a big on him, you know what's happening.
And then later, less than a minute later, Gabe Vincent hits a pull-up three.
He shot the ball really well the last month and a half. J.J. Redick has spoke about it. I think him playing at this level, this is what we saw from him in Miami.
He was the difference maker. He looked really good last night.
And this just wasn't Boston's night. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but LeBron James capping off 20 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists in this one. What do you take from this game, LeBron?
This game like this against the Celtics, against the champs.
Nope, it sure don't. I can tell your enthusiasm in your voice. I heard that question way too many times in my career. Absolutely not. It's one game. They hosted Larry O'Brien Trophy. We're trying to aspire to get there. We want to just continue to work our habits, work our game. So, yeah, absolutely does not.
All right, so while LeBron maybe isn't taking a whole lot from that, let's look at the Celtics side of this, because they've hit a little bit of a lull in their season. One reason why is their three-point shooting. It's taken a little dip. Boston is 11-9 over their last 20 games, and their shooting has trended in the wrong direction. In fact, it's their worst shooting overall in the month since December of 2022. Let's remember, though, the Celtics are on the second night of a back-to-back in this one. But I'm going to start with you here, Danny. You've been there where you've won a championship, and then the next season you have to come back and sort of try to put all of this together. Is this a championship hangover, or is it something else?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of many things. They had a full-length season, play until June, full summer, too. 4 of their guys are in the Olympics. We spoke to Pork about it earlier today. These things happen. It's hard to play an 82-game season and not have lulls or drop-offs and dry spells. As a shooter, it's just the life of a shooter, and this team is known to be the team to live and die by the three. There's going to be months where this happens. You just hope that it doesn't happen in April, May, or June. Brian
Windhorst, you were watching this game all the way from Paris. What did you take?
Before you answer, Brian, I have a question. Is it windy out there, Brian?
You just had to get that.
Yeah,
it's getting windier by the second.
Yes.
My dad joke for today.
You had to get that
my Giannis dad joke.
Thank God you're retired. You're retired, thank God. So, look, honestly, guys, I think this is a real simple situation. The Celtics were just tired. Yeah, it was a back-to-back, Malika, but it was the 5th game in 7 nights. 2 of those games went overtime.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum played all 5 of those games. I was talking to some people who were at the game last night. They felt that Derek White, they've never seen him so fatigued that he looked last night. They played him less than 20 minutes. Joe Mazzulla clearly saw he didn't have it. So, yes, I do think that their shooting is down. I do think that they've, sort of taken a closer look at whether they need to rebalance that a little bit. I am not overreacting to this week. This is just a brutal 5-7. And guess what? They play tomorrow, I believe, on ABC against Dallas to finish this road trip.
Yeah.
They're going to be tired in that one coming west to east. So I would say even tomorrow, before anything even happens, don't even worry about what you see tomorrow from the Celtics either. let's see how they get in towards the second half of the season after the All-Star break.
Yeah, talking to folks, I went to the game last night, talking to folks within the Celtics front office, they're just saying, you know what, look, we went to Abu Dhabi. Remember, we had two players go on, or several players go on to the Olympics, Derek White, Drew Holiday. That's kind of what they're looking at in all of this. So we'll just wait a little bit to pass any sort of judgment here on the Boston Celtics. The Lakers, though, they got the win, and then J.J. Redick, right, he said afterwards, it's a reminder of at its best what this Lakers team can be. But those kinds of games, you start to wonder, do they need another piece to get there consistently? That is what Anthony Davis certainly thinks.
I think we need another big. I feel like I've always been at my best when I've been the 4. And having the big out there, we know it worked when we won the championship with JaVale and Dwight. At the 5 and I'm at the 4.
No reaction. I mean, the reality is that's not a new report. I got the job 6 months ago, so I know that. I follow this team since I retired. Just put a date next to it. That's the report. It's not a big deal. Those guys want to win. We want to win. And again, it's a challenging environment to just go out and make trades.
So we'll have the full interview with Anthony Davis a little bit later in the show. But Shams, how are those comments from AD? We just heard from J.J. Redick, but how are they reverberating around the Lakers front office here?
The Lakers are having due diligence. They are, I wouldn't say responding. I think they're just going about their jobs. They're having due diligence conversations, trade conversations with teams. They have 2 first-round draft picks that they can trade, 2029 and 2031. And those picks in the marketplace, those have tremendous value. But any conversation for the Lakers starts with, what can you get that's going to make a true difference? What difference-making big man, wing player, guard can you go find if you're going to trade a pick that's so far out? My understanding, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, their position on this is they don't want the Lakers to mortgage their future. It doesn't have to be a big-name additions. You think about a few years ago when they went out and got Russell Westbrook. Those aren't really the acquisitions necessarily in mind. It's about players and the organization showing activity and finding players kind of like Dorian Finney-Smith earlier this year that can round out this team around the edges.
He said, I need another big man. That's what Anthony Davis is hoping to get. Wendy, you've covered so many LeBron James teams. We know that they're always trying to push in all the chips to make sure they maximize him now. How do you read these comments?
This is a totally coordinated effort. If you look at what AD said to Shams in the last day or so, what you look at what LeBron said earlier this week, they're trying to apply pressure to Rob Pelinka. The thing I would say is they have tried to apply pressure to Rob Pelinka in years past, and it hasn't worked. Pelinka hasn't yielded to these public pressure. J.J. Redick is right. He used to be on this side of the microphone. He was involved in this type of conversation over the last couple of years when this exact same thing happened. And quite frankly, I just don't think the Lakers like what's in the market, so it's kind of easy to be conservative. And secondly, I don't think the Lakers fear retribution here. Now, if AD wants to threaten something more serious, maybe, but I don't think they see AD wanting to leave LeBron James. LeBron James re-signs with the Lakers within the first second that he can, year after year. So, honestly, I think they would try if they saw something they could get, but why would they mortgage the future if they don't think they can, significantly improve the team?
Yeah, I'm with Wendy on this one. I just don't see anything in the market out there that they can get. Obviously, they need a big. We know this has been the question for the years past. But who do you go get? Who's out there that's valuable or that can change this team around? I don't see anybody out there that we can for sure make the playoffs or be contention with this guy that's worth it. There's guys with contracts. It may seem easy. We'll find a big, but there's contracts in the plays. It's not as easy as it sounds when you're trying to make things add up. And I just don't see many bigs out there that can match up with the Jokic or Joel Embiid. I don't think anybody is saying it's easy, but you were on that 2020 team when they won a championship, and Anthony Davis played 40% of his minutes at the 5. This year he's playing 96% of his minutes at the 5. So maybe take realistic trades out of the equation. Do you think it's still necessary? The impossible is necessary. 100%. I mean, but the two guys that we had on that team are now not playing. Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, we had those pieces. They're not playing anymore. They're older, and we can't find anybody to replicate that for that group.
Yep.
But it's very, very viable. It's very important. They need that to give him help. He is taking too much of the load offensively and defensively where it's going to wear on him in the playoffs. And to play a guy like Jokic, who is the MVP, reigning MVP multiple times, it's going to be a lot for him to handle. Yeah, I think the Lakers, they're going to continue to scour the market for the next week plus until the NBA trade deadline.